T-Boys TV, full time at Pride Park. Obviously, it finished Derby County 0, Luton Town 1. Could be a massive win for us. Obviously, going into it, we needed to win. Nothing else. And the lineup, looking at the lineup, it was a bit sceptical, from what people see. It looked like it was a 3-5-1-1, or, you could say a 5-3-1-1. And Dabo was obviously up there, sort of in his own sort of role, which was interesting. The first few times he come in, especially I think his first game was QPR away under Rob Edwards, and he was playing sort of as a cam. So he has played there a few, like sort of higher up a few times, even though he is more of a defensive midfielder. But yeah, other than that, it was interesting. Naismith was part of that five. Good to see him starting. Not quite where I thought he would, but with Bristol City coming up, he cannot feature in that game. So it's good that he started. Caldini, yeah, yet again, the guy had to put a bandage around his flipping head and was still a great player. But yeah, I'll get into players individually. But yeah, looking at that, a bit sceptical. Morris still starting, but we expect it, let's be honest. But yeah, going into the actual game, I thought the first half we were good. We were on them. We got a goal obviously in the 10th minute. Obviously Ali scored again away. You look at the goal and it's a set piece. And that is our strong point, which we haven't really utilised a lot this season. We used it there, and I think Morris started off well, but as the game went on, he didn't do too great. But you look at that, the goal, you have to give him credit because he's headed it onto obviously McGuinness to then slide it into Ali, who couldn't miss from there. One of our clinical players at the moment. And from there on in, we go 1-0. He does another flip, in front of the away end. It's absolutely booming in that away end. And again, I have to shout out the away support because all I could hear was them pretty much. The only times I heard Derby was when they were saying, "Come on, Derby," or moaning because Naismith's bleeding and they're booing it. Crazy. But yeah, I have to give the away fans credit again. I think we sold out 3,000 away fans as well on top of that. So massive credit to them. Massive game. And yeah, then we get a yellow card, obviously a bit later on in the game. Obviously Morris, he does get a bit too involved sometimes, I feel. Like he'll do these silly things sometimes and, be lucky to get away with it. Obviously Stoke was a great example of that. He should have really been sent off in that game. And I was thinking, and I was saying to my dad, they're probably going to target, we were saying to each other, they're probably going to target him in the second half. And they seemed like there was, their captain and Morris were having a bit of an argument in the second half. But second half, it wasn't great from us, let's be honest. Defensively, we've done really well. Obviously, McGuinness, 3 vital blocks. I want to talk about Mark McGuinness in this game. Now, obviously, when we signed him, got a lot of criticism because of the price tag. But, the only bad thing he's done for me is when we played QPR at home, when he missed a header. But since then, aerially, he's been absolutely phenomenal. 3 vital blocks in this game. The first one was going in. The second one, maybe Kaminsky would have got it. But the third one, all right, he scuffed the clearance. But who cares? He's in the right place at the right time. He's next to me here. Do you know what I mean? What a guy he has been for us. And honestly, I've said it on Hatters shows, and I'm going to say it here to the people that don't watch it. Next season, whatever league we're in, give him the captain's armband because that guy is a brick. He's a brick. Simple as that. But yeah, second half, like I say, we was sort of sitting back a bit too deep. A problem that we've had for ages, even in the Premier League, is second balls. And we were struggling to latch onto them. We were so deep that Derby just kept getting it back so easily. But, Kaminsky made some vital saves. I thought the first half, when Derby did have their moments going forward, I thought Makoso done really well again. Ali was good again. But for them vital blocks, and he's obviously got it on Sky as well, McGuinness is definitely the man of the match. He was excellent in the game. And yeah, we got a massive game. But this is Luton's problem, right? We haven't followed up on a lot of results. Obviously, recently under Bloomfield, I think we were 3 unbeaten. But Bristol City, it's going to be a very difficult game. Of course it is. They're playing Sunderland today. As we were recording, obviously, by the time this drops, the result will probably be out. But, I think to myself, well, it's a good opportunity for them to win. They love a 2-1 at home. Sunderland, even if they lost all their games, they'll be chilling in the playoffs. So, hopefully they'll win that and there's not as much pressure on them. Whereas us, obviously, we're at home. We need to utilise it. I'll be honest, right now, I'd probably rather play away. Because we're actually doing better away, recently anyway. So, yeah, I mean, that game is going to be difficult. You know, I had them up there at the start of the season. And again, I need my credit for that because not a lot of people would have said that. I got called names under the sun. So everyone that said that, hold that, yeah? But hopefully, we're not holding an L. We need to be consistent. And guys, again, I want to look at it game by game. But look, say for example, we then get something in that game, you know, a good result, whether that's a draw or a win. Ideally a win because, you know, obviously you're still hoping that Derby don't quite get something, you know what I mean? The draw could do it depending on their result, but ideally you just want to get 3 points sort of thing, to be sure sort of thing. And then obviously we got Coventry after that. Like, imagine if we could dampen their hopes again of something. But again, we need to get through Bristol City first and see what happens there. But yeah, like I say, man of the match for me is McGuinness. Just going to go through players individually quickly, not quite ratings, but just how I felt they'd done. Kaminsky, some vital saves. Went down twice in the game. You had worries, especially one of them, but he was all right in the end. Vital saves, very good shot stopper as we know. Makoso, really good in the first half, like I said. Second half, dropped off a little bit, but still decent. McGuinness, I said it, the guy's a brick. He's quality. Bell, I actually thought was decent in this game. He was taking long throws at times as well, and it weren't too bad. Obviously, he took the armband as well when Morris obviously come off. And then Jones was decent in the first half. Second half, a bit difficult for him to get into the game because they're putting loads of pressure on us. Decent tackles from him at times as well, to be fair. Ali, you know, again, he's up there, man of the match. You could argue, obviously, he did get a decisive goal. And yeah, he done some decent defensive work yet again. Clark, I mean, I'll be honest, first half he was really good. Second half, except the header where he got headbutted, I thought, you know, he was so sloppy in possession in the second half. Asgard was decent in the first half. Again, similar to Jones, difficult for him to sort of get into the game. And he was also doing a lot of good defensive work as well in the first half, actually. So fair play to him. Naismith was decent. You know, had to put a headband on yet again. You know, like, I think it was Portsmouth at home. Solid, man. And I'm glad we played him. You know, he got full 90 minutes as well. That is really good. You know, that is really good. And then obviously Dabo, to be fair, he weren't terrible. He weren't terrible, to be fair. You know, he's just decent, I guess. And then Morris, like I say, you have to give him credit on the goal. I mean, after that, he needed to calm down a little bit. But yeah, and then the subs, Mengi was much better in this game compared to the other game, clearing it away a lot. Done well in that scenario. Burke, I do have my worries about him, you know, when he comes on right wing back still. Nakamba, all right. Nordas tried holding up the ball, tried to do a few things. And then Chong was, even though he had a very short spell, he was very influential at the end, you know, in getting that. And when he got fouled, you know, he's like, yes, you know what I mean, showing a passion. So fair play to him as well. Done well when he come on. So yeah, that is that. So yeah, could be a great win if we follow that up. We have to follow that up, guys, because that is not what we've done a lot this season, as we know. So yeah, don't forget to smash a like. Let me know your man of the match. Derby fan, Luton fan. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Neutral fan if you watched it. Yeah, smash a like, subscribe, follow me across on my socials, subscribe to the extra channel. Come on, Luton! Take care. Peace.